Have you ever been vaccinated or gotten a flu shot? Have you ever had a fever? Do you know someone with an autoimmune disorder like lupus? No matter how divergent these all seem, these are all aspects of one thing. It's all your immunity. There is a textbook definition of immunity. While this version is okay, it is way too narrow for our purposes. If we don't understand the full breadth and depth of immunity, we will not understand our bodies, whether we are sick or at the peak of health. To appreciate this awesome system of the body, let's get philosophical for a moment. Life is a complex environment of matter. There are living things that are microscopic, such as bacteria, parasites, and viruses. There are higher organisms, animals and plants on the land and in the sea that share this great experiment with us called Earth. Organisms are at times cooperating and at other times competing for the same resources in order to survive. So in a world that is beautiful, tough, and complex, we humans have to be as tough and as complex to survive. Now by tough, I don't mean tough in the classical sense of outman, outgun, and annihilate your opponent. Think of it like this. Microbes surround us every moment of every day. There are roughly 6 to 7 billion people on Earth. So I know you're thinking we certainly can outnumber them. But every one of us 7 billion also carries billions of microbes in and on our bodies. We humans are totally surrounded. So basically, it's billions of each type of microbe for 7 billion of every human. That means it's really trillions of microbes compared to only billions of humans. So you get the point that outmanning them is not even possible. As far as outgunning them, well, that's a complex story. There are some microbes that are quite helpful to us, and in turn we are helpful to them. Therefore, we want to keep them around. Think of commensal bacteria. You may know them as probiotics. In exchange for providing them with a safe environment and a continuous food supply, they provide humans with a way to break down food and fight harmful microbes. However, there are microbes that are truly harmful. They invade the body to rob it of nutrients, which can lead to sickness and death. These pathogens have devised ways to change themselves and their appearance over time to evade our defense systems. So outgunning them in the long run is nearly impossible. And how do you annihilate things that have been around a lot longer than we have, and they survived the dinosaurs? And I know. If you were wondering why are there dinosaurs in the middle of this film, it's because all films these days need a good dinosaur. Apologies to Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. So you may be wondering, how have we survived? I'll tell you. By having an immune system that's just as complex, tough, and smart as the environment it's in. It's well built, durable, strong, and long-lasting. plenty complex, plenty strong, plenty smart. Now we will see your immunity in action against infection. With apologies to Raging Bull, Rocky, and the 1966 TV version of Batman, I present Raging Immunity, the saga of your immune cells using the 1-2 punch of protection against pathogen invasion, starring your innate and adaptive immunity. The initial strike is a quick jab of the innate immune system. The first immune cells surveil the landscape. They always do this. Then a network of communication called signaling occurs in the tissues that are infected. The first responder cells hit the scene and the fight begins. The immune cells recognize patterns or microbes during their surveillance. Cells including eosinophils and basophils, as well as proteins such as opsonins, just to name a few, kill the pathogen or stick to them, thereby making them attractive to another set of immune cells. The signal is sent for the innate cells called neutraphils, macrophages, and dendritic cells to come in to literally eat or engulf the pathogen in a process called phagocytosis. All of this is happening very fast. The second hit against pathogens is a more specific strike that is not quick, but is a potent knockout punch called adaptive immunity cells. Dendritic cells and macrophages not only engulf pathogen, but also break them into bits called antigen to present them to cells of the adaptive immune system. After an adaptive immune cell, let's say a T cell, encounters the antigen, it proliferates or copies itself and signals to other cells of the adaptive immune system. These cells will come and surveil the environment and look for specific codes or antigen, depending on the type of infection and the type of adaptive immune cell present. The cell will lock in and proceed to kill, clear, and remember the pathogen for the next infection. This is the potent knockout punch.